Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, Miss Danny, welcome.
Hi.
The Enneagram is a personality theory plus a whole lot more. And so what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, and they are going to help you and me figure out, hopefully, a range of types that you might want to explore. Okay. So the first question that I'm going to ask you is, give me 3 adjectives that your friends would use to describe you.
Funny. Anxious or worrisome, and I think I'd say smart, I guess.
And what are 3 adjectives that you would use to describe you?
Definitely anxious. Too worried about what other people think, whatever adjective would be to describe that. And I don't know, I guess kind of independent.
Anxious, worried, independent,
Mm-hmm.
funny, smart.
Mm-hmm.
Does that resonate with you?
Mm-hmm.
How are you your own best friend?
How am I my own best friend? I don't think I'm my own best friend because I'm really hard on myself. I'm my own worst enemy more than friend.
Well, that's the next question.
Okay. My own best friend. I do try to like take care of myself and encourage myself to grow. Like a lot of times I just think, why do I bother? But then I do try to just keep on growing. So
And you're your worst enemy by?
criticizing myself all the time, everything I do.
Okay. How important is getting the job done?
Depends on where I'm at. If I'm at work, I like to get that stuff knocked out and done so that I have time to kind of just float around. But at my house, the top of the refrigerator really needs to be dusted, but I don't care. I look at it and think, oh, later. So,
What happens if people interrupt you mid-task?
Depending on the task, I don't like it. Like if I'm at work and trying to focus and one of my partners comes in and just wants to chat, that irritates me. So, but if I'm dusting the top of the refrigerator and a friend calls, that does not irritate me. So,
How important is achievement?
I guess as a teacher, I think that is one of the things that drives me. I want to see my kids be successful. So, but as far as success, as far as the world goes, I don't think I care too much about that.
How important is image?
I think in our world it's very important, but I don't care too much about it. So I kind of gave up on trying to keep up with that.
So, do you worry about the future?
No, not too much, I don't think. I mean, I like to plan for it, but no, it's not something that keeps me awake at night.
How sensitive are you to danger or potential harm in the environment?
How sensitive am I? Like, do you mean I won't take a risk because, like, I won't go hiking because there might be a snake out there? Or would I notice the snake?
I think both.
I would go hunt, hiking, whatever, and I probably wouldn't notice the snake until I was on it. So I don't think I am very sensitive to that. So,
Do you make decisions quickly, or do you labor over them?
I think I labor over them.
Tell me more about that.
I often have said I'm like really wishy-washy about making decisions, but once I make it, then I do stick with it. But I don't like to, although I often do things, then I think, why did I do that? But, when it comes to big decisions, like where I'm gonna live or things like that, I take a long time to decide that.
Do you have any idea what you are assessing?
Well, I take probably into consideration lots of things that I shouldn't worry about, I guess, like what will my family think about that, or I worry too much about what other people will think about what I decide. I let that play in too much to what I do, I think.
Okay. How easily do you trust people?
Kind of dual in that too, in the sense that I tend to tell people way too much about myself, but I don't trust anyone, if that makes sense.
And when you say you don't trust anyone, tell me more about that.
I expect people to not do what they say they're gonna do, or to leave eventually, or, I don't know, I just don't, I feel like people aren't always genuine, I guess.
So, could you say that you expect the worst?
A lot of times, yeah, but I don't like live in dread of that. I just don't think I ever put all my eggs in a basket because I expect whatever to fall through.
So, do you feel like that would be considered circumspect?
I don't know what you mean by that.
In your world, is that just something any reasonable, responsible person would do?
Oh. I was taught that, I think.
Uh-huh.
My mom always sees the worst that could happen with anything. So I think I was taught to do that and thinking about the choices I make, I guess. So what's the worst that could happen? Which I think is important to consider,
Yes.
but not automatically think that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
So,
So, I'm hearing you say that you do it, but it doesn't seem to carry a whole lot of weight. In other words, does it feel like a training to you, do you think?
I'm not sure. I think I do fall, whatever, victim to it by not, because it keeps me from taking some risks that I might wanna take.
Okay.
But, then there are other things that I do that are probably really risky that other people would never do, so.
Okay. Okay. How do you respond to conflict?
I avoid it by any means. I'd rather cut off my arm than have to deal with. I mean, I'm getting better at it, but I really like I'm doing the conflict class on Wednesday nights, and I'm in therapy for learning 44. I need to learn how to stick up for myself better. So,
Give me an example of a conflict that you avoid.
at work, I work with two young girls who, I call them the meanest and the mean girl. There's the meanest girl and then there's the mean girl. And they kind of bully me because I don't always stick up for myself, so they make me do more than I feel like I should have to do. I feel like I sound lazy in saying that, but I'm not good at sticking up for myself. So, I do, but it usually takes me, I have to get really, really pushed, and then I have to like go home and prepare a whole speech to go and tell them so that I do it appropriately rather than having a fit or yelling at them or whatever, being passive aggressive. So,
Very good. So what happens inside of you when things are not harmonious?
my thoughts get very, like sometimes I do have panic attacks, but for the most part, I just get, my thoughts get so, it's like I can't think. 'Cause I'm
Jumbled.
Yeah, I'm like overwhelmed and I lots of times end up doing things opposite of what I would want to do, I think, because I get so nervous or anxious about things.
And so your stomach is tight.
Yeah, I guess so.
Move your breath.
No, it's more like just all in my head, like I just cannot think. And I say things that I don't want to say and wouldn't normally say. And I think, where did that even come from?
Sure.
So,
So, do you find yourself easily distracted normally?
as I get older, it seems like that happens more, but depends on what I'm doing, I guess. Like, yeah, I think I am easily distracted. I'm always up and moving, and like it's hard for me to like sit and do something for an hour or 2 hours.
Would you describe yourself as someone who easily sees all points of views?
I think I'm better at that than I used to be. I don't know that I do it easily, but whenever I'm in a situation, I might later go reflect on it and think, what were they really trying to say? As I get older, I think I do try to seek to understand more. So I don't know that it's easy.
How easy is it for you to be clear about your own agenda and then to follow through?
Once I've made a decision, I'm very organized, I'm good at boom, 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 this is what I need to do, and this is the order that I need to do it.
Okay.
So,
And so give me an example.
like moving to North Carolina, once I decided to move to North Carolina, I immediately figured out what's the first thing, I just make a list, what's the first thing I need to do? Get applications into jobs, my brother lived here, so, go, I just was able to know what I needed to do in the way that I needed to do it.
And when you have a list, then you can begin it, go through it, and end it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like lists, I like marking them off, and I do them electronically now, it's not as rewarding to delete it as it is to mark it off, I don't know why. So,
That's true.
but I like lists, yeah. So,
So let's talk about your anger.
Okay.
How accessible are you? Is it? How easily do you get in touch with your anger?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like, how easily do I identify that I'm mad?
That's a good way of putting it.
I don't think I do. Most of the time, if it's little stuff, like I think I let all that build up. But then eventually it gets to where I'm just like, that is the straw that broke the camel's back. And I end up, I'm not as bad as I used to be. Well, I've never been like violent or anything. But I would just get too upset about something that just felt like it was the straw that broke the camel's back. So,
And then you do what?
I don't know if that's passive aggressive, but fall into like a victim, I get upset, like I'm sick to death of them doing this to me, and, I don't know, I used to would leave, I'm a runaway type person, I would like, if something got awkward or too bad, then I would just, whatever, find another job, or I started running away from home when I was 3, and just, that kind of, but I'm getting, like, right now with this, the mean and meanest girl, I really love where I work, and I'm not gonna let them ruin that for me, so I do prepare my little self, go in and tell them, and so, it's,
Okay. What is it like for you, Danny, when you make a mistake?
I'm usually like really upset, devastated by it, beat myself up for a long time. But I am kind of getting better about that, and I just kind of feel like that's the end, and things will never be perfect again, or so.
Give me an example.
something as silly as, why did I say that? And it might not have even been that bad of a thing, I just chose the wrong. I'm kind of too blunt sometimes, I think, and,
So you'll leave a conversation and you will all the way home.
yeah, well, or for days, that will kind of like haunt me. No, I'm getting better about being like, it'll be okay. People can
Yourself out.
forgive me, yeah, so,
Some people have a strong inner critic who is quite vocal about you.
yeah, I think I'm really hard on myself.
Strong. Can you give me a scale of 0 to 10? 10 being the strongest.
Let's say an 8.
When others are irresponsible, how do you react?
Depends on how it affected me. If it affected me, I won't deal with that person anymore. And if it doesn't affect me, I just think, idiot, why do they do that?
Sure.
So,
What does play look like?
that's a really good question. I don't know that I know. I'm not very good at relaxing and having fun. So,
Well, that's an answer.
yeah.
Do you resonate with feelings of longing?
Actually, that's a good, I feel like I'm like that a lot in the sense that I feel like there's something missing. So I want that, I have a longing for a better way of being or living. So, yeah.
Do you see yourself experiencing a lot of melancholy?
I would say, yeah.
Is the best always out of reach for you?
Yeah.
Do you tend to focus on what is missing?
I do tend to see the negative rather than the positive. I hate this. But it's true. I do. I'm very critical of other people too.
How comfortable are you with feelings of sadness?
I'm okay with that, I think. I'll cry if I need to cry, or, I don't know that I've always been like that, but
Do you ever find yourself luxuriating in feelings of sadness?
like having a pity party, I used to a lot, and now I think I've kind of outgrown it. I've learned kind of how to not do that so much, but sometimes, yeah, I still will, whatever, spend the day. But it's pretty rare now, so.
When you think about the word or the experience of ordinary, what is your reaction to the word ordinary or to the experience of ordinary?
I have two reactions to that, I guess. Part of me does not want to be ordinary, but then part of me also does want to be ordinary, because I see ordinary as like living simply. So, but I also don't want to be, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, I'd like to think that there's something special going to happen at some point, so.
That's a good answer.
Okay.
What role does beauty play in your life?
My initial response is I worry too much about like how I look, but I also really appreciate the world, being in nature and the beauty that's around me. Like I see God in that a lot. Like I really do appreciate. I can see beauty in everything that I come across, so I like that.
Do people ever tell you that you are too intense?
No.
How good are you at knowing your own needs?
I don't think I'm very good at that. I don't think I'm good at that.
Can you tell me more about that?
I think I think I have like tension or anxiety because I know I have needs, but I go about trying to get whatever they are met in weird ways versus identifying what they are and seeking appropriate ways to meet them.
So you know just enough to know that something is amiss, that you've missed your needs, that there's some way to know your needs, and you are now beginning to explore that.
Yeah, I think that's true. So,
Have you ever had the experience of knowing what other people need before they do?
as a teacher, I think I do that a lot. So I am kind of, yeah, I think it's easier to see that in other people than it is to see it in yourself. So,
How comfortable are you with receiving help?
I'm not. So,
Give me an example.
I just, I like to do things myself. I don't like it if I have to ask for help. I'll do pretty much anything I have to not have to ask for help. But I will ask for it if I need it, so,
Eventually,
yeah, but I try to figure it out on my own first.
give me an example of when you finally asked for help.
Like at work, when I need to figure out something new with paperwork or something that I don't know, then and if I can't find the answer in the resources that I have, then I will go and ask one of my peers, how do I do this?
Have you ever given help to the point of exhaustion?
Yeah, I do let people. Mm. I don't know about well, no, not in ways that are unhealthy, I don't think, like helping people move or whatever can be very tiring. But, I do tend to like help people who I probably shouldn't, if that makes sense, because they're leechy, so.
Tell me about that.
I'm just thinking, we have a situation, I have a group of friends that I'm really close with, and we have a friend who used to be part of our group, and I kind of been forgetting, like, I never really was that close to her, because she treats people poorly if she doesn't think she needs them. So, and about a year ago, she met this guy, and he was really mean to all of us, and a big fight ensued. I wasn't there, but I stuck with my group, she went with the guy, moved off to the mountains with them, I kept saying, she's gonna come back, because that's not gonna work out. And now she's back, and I find myself really wanting to comfort her, and when really she was pretty nasty to me when as part of our group. She and this other lady were, and the other one I got to where I just won't even, if she was gonna be there, I wouldn't go. Okay, she's not in our group anymore, because she cut herself with everybody. But she's back, and I find myself like overly welcoming her. It's like I don't want her to not like me, which really I don't care, because I'm not that fond of her myself. So but my initial response is, let me do whatever I need to do to help you feel better in this time of need. So,
I understand that. How are you with being alone?
pretty good. I spend a lot of time alone. But like I'm a teacher, and a couple years ago I noticed I kind of panic when it comes time for December, because I'm not sure what to do with myself. So, so I try to be more proactive in that and prepare things for myself. And so,
Is setting boundaries easy for you or difficult?
I think I pretty much set them keeping people away. But I'm not good at setting them with people who I probably should.
So in some areas you do fine, in other areas you think you might need to improve. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, I think I need to probably let some people in more, and I probably need to be better at telling other people to back off, so I'm probably not very good at setting them.
Okay. Talk to me about control.
ODD in the sense that if I feel like somebody's trying to control me, I'll just be like, you're not gonna. So, but I don't think that, like when I'm with my group of friends, I don't feel like I have to be the person who's in control of the situation or anything. I can be a follower. So I just don't like for people to, I don't know, I guess there are certain personality types or something that, with certain people where I feel like they're trying to control me. So I won't do anything they tell me to do, which is not always a good thing. So, especially in work. So,
So you'll dig in.
mm-hmm.
Are you a person of strong opinions?
When I have one, yeah, pretty strong in it. So,
Give an example.
um, I don't think, golly, I'm trying to think of an opinion that or an opinion versus a belief. Like, I don't believe the government has the right to be all in our business about everything. And, I guess once I decide I don't like something, I'm pretty strong in that. So I don't like it, or I do like it. So.
Okay. Does excess play a role in your life?
Excess? I don't think so.
How do you react to the concept of justice?
It's interesting because I was thinking about this because Doug talked about it Sunday. Some things I could care less about, but I guess when I see somebody who's innocent hurt, that will like haunt me forever. Like animals or kids, that just cannot stand for people to get away with hurting someone who can't, or something that cannot defend itself like that really gets me. But, well, and I guess, but then on the other hand, like I'd rather, like I worry about people that might be innocent in prison, like that's really disturbing to me because that would be horrible. So, I'd rather see somebody walk free than be wrongly, denied a life. So, I don't know that. So,
How is your energy compared to others?
I think I don't have near as much energy as other people.
Example.
I get tired quickly, but I think that has to do with the fact that I don't eat well or exercise like I should. So I'm working on that this summer.
Or it could be because you're a teacher.
Well, my days are very, I am on all the time.
What's the age, by the way?
I do K through 5 special ed, so, which is better than being a classroom teacher. But it's still, like, I'm special ed, there's a lot of meetings and lots of paperwork, and it's all legally binding, and you can lose your job. And so there's a lot of stress, and then there's no training on how to do paperwork, so it's sort of, you're winging it, but they could fire you for it. So, but I still, like, I have friends that are teachers that are, like, way bigger than me and stuff. They can, like, teach all day and then go do stuff at night. I'm like, and then when I am, at the end of the day, I can't, I go home, I walk the dog, and I'm kind of done. I can't go out or anything.
Yeah.
I have to work.
Do you tend to be all or nothing?
I think I'm trying not to be like that so much, yeah. I think I used to see things very black and white.
And can you give an example? All or nothing? I guess in a way I used to pick my friends, like you either were all like me or else we weren't friends. Or, I don't know, like when I was more fundamental as a Christian, for a long time I was like, oh, Catholics are not Christians, and so I have had thinking like that. But I like to think I'm kind of matured out of that and more accepting privacy important to you?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I don't want people in my stuff, not that I'm like hiding anything, but, yeah, like even at work, I'm kind of the person that keeps to myself more than where the other two, it's like neither one of them can stand, one of them will tell you she cannot stand to be alone, which really irritates me, because then when the other one's not there, she wants to be with me all the time.
Wow.
Which really, I don't wanna take care of her, and she's mean to me when the other one's around, so, yeah, I like to, yeah, and I think, because as a teenager and young adult, like my parents would violate my privacy a lot, and then, like, use that against me, so I got to where I wouldn't journal for a while, because they had read it and then sent me books to fix my problems and stuff like that. So it's just screwed. So now I finally am getting to where I relaxed into that more again. But I don't like people in my business.
How much alone time?
I think quite a bit. So, because when I get home from work, and don't get me wrong, I have a good friend neighbor, and we chat it up for probably half an hour every day. But I'm really okay being alone, which is weird. Then why do I worry about summer? Because I think I'd be glad. Anyway,
When people ask things of you unexpectedly, how do you react?
my initial response is no, but then I have to tell myself they need me to do this, or they would not have asked. Yeah, I don't like for plans to be changed. So, now if it's up fun, I don't mind.
Do you consider yourself a participant in life, or do you consider yourself more of an observer of life?
I'd say a participant. So I'm kind of more of a leader than I give myself credit for, I think. So, because I can, like, if nobody else does it, I'll pick up what needs to be led, but I do like to keep busy and doing things. So, but at a party, I'll sit back. So,
So, do you connect more with the ideas or the people?
I think ideas.
Can you give an example?
I'm just more of I like to analyze things and think about them. And don't get me wrong, I love hanging with my friends. I mean, and that's energizing to me sometimes being with them. But I can only do it for so long. Like when we travel together, they're on my nerves after about the first day. So I don't know. Yeah, I think I'd rather. I'm really excited. I just learned a bunch about string theory, and I think that's a really cool idea. So I like that.
So, do people tend to drain your energy?
After a while, yeah, I think I'm only good for about a day.
And so, do you like to gather information?
I love to do that. Like, say somebody tells me their bees died, but they don't know why. I'll I'll check out every book about bees. Now, I don't read them all, but I'll skim through trying to figure out what might have killed the bees. So, I do like to, I don't think I'm an in-depth knower of things, but I do like to learn about stuff when I have a question.
When you have time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you relate to self-sufficiency?
Yeah, I'm very self-sufficient. Out of fear, because I don't want to ever have to ask anybody for anything.
So, when it comes to relationships, how reciprocal are you?
I think it depends. If it's a friendship relationship, I feel like with a woman, my girlfriends, I kind of have to work harder at that than if I'm in a romantic relationship. I'm far too, I think, giving when it comes to that.
So, tell me about what does working at it look like?
Like if I see their friend is calling and I know what's been going on in their life, I'm like, oh, I have to make myself answer the phone and be a friend. So, and once I do it, I'm glad I did.
Sure.
It's just that at first I'm like, so.
So, what about initiating time with
I do that. We do it through Facebook, so I have people over more than probably anybody else. So I'll say whatever, Saturday night games and potluck at our house. So we kind of rotate that around.
Okay.
So,
Um, What is multitasking like for you?
I do it all the time. I feel weird if I'm not multitasking. So I always think, what else could I be doing at the same time? So
But do you describe yourself as an optimist or a pessimist?
I like to think that I'm an optimist in the sense that I do always hope that things will get better, and I do always have hope, or else I would have totally given up. But I'm also pessimistic in the sense that I don't have a lot of faith in people, and I trust in them, I guess. So I tend to see the negatives in things, but I also have hope that it'll be okay. So
How do you deal with emotional pain?
sometimes I'll let myself cry, but I tend to eat too much and watch TV. And then,
That's how you do it.
yeah, I stuff it, I guess, and then just wait for it to go away. Or I run away. So,
From home?
yeah, from home or whatever the problem, whatever's causing me pain, I run away, so.
When people say no to you, like, or when you experience limits or boundaries, what is your reaction?
I'm usually really sad and upset and think that they don't like me. I take it personally. So, but I'm trying to not think that way anymore. So,
Do you tend to put an excessive positive spin on things?
I have friends that would say I do. So, I do try to make the best of every situation. Like, say we've rented a cabin, we get there, oh, it's not so great. Well, I'm gonna try to focus on the good things so that I make the best of that situation versus pouting or being mad because it's a bad situation. So,
So when you choose to put a positive spin on things, it's a conscious effort and a discipline of sorts, or a way of doing life.
I think so, yeah, and trying to make things, so I do believe how you tell yourself things are helps it be that way. So, especially if it's something outside of my circle of influence, I cannot control it, so I can either pout and be mad about it, or I can make the best of it. So I do try to make the best of it usually.
So, would you consider yourself an excessive planner of events or things for the future?
I do try to plan. I do like to plan. But I also can be spontaneous. Do stuff at the drop of a hat. So, but I do like to plan.
Okay. So let me ask you one more thing, a couple more things. Do you ever have the experience that certain groups of people know parts of you, but no one person knows all of you?
I'm more afraid that everybody knows all about me and is keeping it from me. So, which sounds really crazy, I realize, but I feel like everybody can see right through me. And no one's telling me what's wrong. So,
It doesn't sound crazy.
okay, I just feel like I go around and no one will tell me what it is. So, I'm convinced I'm schizophrenic or something. But,
Yes.
so, and I do feel like people know me pretty well, I think, about me, so.
Okay. All right. So, let me just tell you what I'm thinking now. We've got about 5 more minutes, maybe a little bit more. I do see the 1-2 in you, as far as the inner critic. Again, that's pretty strong. You led with it. It's interspersed throughout.
Mhm.
So I would invite you to explore the one with the 2-week.
Okay.
The reason I added 2-week is because of the giving aspect of it and the other people awareness aspect.
Mhm.
You're very aware of other people. Your antennas are out. And
Mhm.
so it could be a 2 wide, it could be a 2 with a 1-wing or a 1 with a 2-wing.
Okay.
You do also have a lot of the traits of the 5.
Mhm.
But what I don't know about that is if that's just introvertism that's coming out.
Mhm.
The 5s seem to be overly aware of energy. And once they are aware that they are aware of it, they are aware that
Mhm.
almost all decisions are made based on that.
Okay.
And so I see the introvertness going on inside of you, but I'm not real sure at this point, without more probing,
Mhm.
whether or not this is the result of energy or whether it's just the result of being an introvert.
Mhm.
And so 5 loves to gather energy, 5s love to be alone.
Mhm.
5s love to mull and ruminate.
Mhm.
But I see that I see a lot more give and take with you
Mhm.
than it might be true of 5, a true 5.
Mhm.
There's a lot of give and take in your life, and again, I see parts of the 9 in you as well.
Mhm.
Again, we don't know whether this is the result of your childhood or not,
Mhm.
but the extreme discomfort with conflict and the need
Mhm.
for harmony and the willingness and ability to dig in.
Mhm.
There's a real stubbornness in 9s that is their
Okay.
a hallmark of the 9s, and they also are not in touch with their anger until you push them.
Mhm.
And when you push them, then they can find their feet, so to speak.
Mhm.
Finally. So these are places to explore, and when you go in those directions and you read about them, I think that you're going to find a home.
Okay.
You will find one that resonates more than others, and if you'd like to, you and I can continue talking about this at a later
Mhm.
date after you explore it, and then you can say, well, it sounds like this and this and this, and I think that will be something that you'll find an answer to.
Okay.
So, Debbie, thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
This has
thank
been my
you.
pleasure.
Thank
I've
you.
enjoyed your answers. I find you very interesting,
Oh, thanks.
and so this is a real pleasure for
I
me.
think it's so cool that you're studying this.
Oh, well, thank you.
And brought it to us.
Yes.
So, very good.
So I'm going to end it now.
Okay, thanks.
You know what, Debbie, I think this was not